Hi, I'm Greg Wood, and this is part 7 of Making It in the Music Scene. Today I'm going to tell you how to copyright your song or copyright your music. First of all, what is a copyright? Copyright is just like a patent, but relating to your music or your song. It means that you own the song. If you are the creator, you are entitled to any money that is made by that song. Basically, the moment you create or write the song, the copyright exists at that exact moment. And basically, from that moment that you create the song, then what you'd want to do is register the copyright in order to prove that you are the owner of that song uh, for financial gain. Basically, there are 3 different places that you can register a copyright with. And then there's a fourth way that you can do fairly easily on your own. So the 3 ways that you can register your copyright are: 1, you can register your songs, so you send in a CD and lyrics to the Canadian Intellectual Property Office, and I'll put the link for that underneath the video. You can check out as well all the definitions of a copyright and exactly how the laws work. So that's all taken care of at the Canadian Intellectual Property Office. The second way is through SOCAN, which is a performing rights society. Basically, it's the only one in Canada, and typically there's one for every country. Basically, a performing rights society is a collective that deals with musical works. They collect royalties on behalf of the composers of music, the lyricists, songwriters, as well as collect for music publishers, and they basically are in charge of collecting all of the royalties for all the different people involved with the creation of copyrights for music, and they pay the songwriters. So anytime you have a song played on the radio or somebody plays your song live, they basically have to pay a royalty to the artist, and SOCAN takes care of that. And by registering your songs with SOCAN, you're protecting your copyright as well as you're making yourself eligible to get paid. So registering your songs with SOCAN should be the very first thing you do after you get your CD mixed and mastered. You have your lyric sheets, you register those songs with SOCAN as soon as possible. So anything that happens with those songs, you're going to start to get paid for creating those songs. The last place that you can register a copyright with is the Songwriters Association of Canada. They have something called the Song Vault. So basically, they have a $15 admin fee, and you just send in your song with your lyric sheet, and they basically have a big archive of all the music in Canada. It's called the Song Vault. I'll as well put a link to that under the video if you want to check that out. It's a good way to very quick and easy way to register your songs, especially if you are not going to record it. You don't want to register it with SOCAN. It's not going to be something that's going to be going to radio play, but maybe you just have a songbook full of songs you'd like to register them just to protect them, and then as well as somebody else has a record of those songs stashed away somewhere. The fourth way would be considered the old-fashioned way, which would be to take a CD of your music along with the lyric sheets, seal it in an envelope, and basically you would mail it to yourself, meaning that you would go down to the post office and get a postmark with the date on the sealed envelope and then mail it to yourself. When you receive it, you would just never open it, and that postmark on there will show that the date that you created that music. So that's another way that you can protect yourself, and that's a fairly quick and easy way as well to protect your music. Basically, the way that the law looks at a copyright is verification of a copyright or registering a copyright. All these things we just talked about don't guarantee that you own the copyright. That decision can only be made in the court of law by a judge in Canada. So all of these ways, registering your song and mailing the CD to yourself, these are good ways to protect yourself, to show some proof that you were the original creator of the music. But there's no guarantees. It's at the end of the day, it's always going to be up to the judge who wrote the song first. So if there's a song that becomes really, really famous, it's a #1 hit and makes millions of dollars, and then another artist says, hey, they stole that song from me, and they take them to court, then both sides have to prove who wrote the song first. And that has happened quite a few times. There are some pretty big cases. You can go check those out. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is a copyright symbol. That is the lowercase c with a circle around it that you'll see oftentimes on CDs or records. And that copyright symbol, it's not mandatory under Canadian copyright law. However, some countries do require it. The marking consists of the little symbol, the name of the copyright owner, and the year of its first publication. Even though it's not always required, marking it's useful because it serves as a general reminder to everyone that the work is protected by copyright. Hey, don't steal this, it's copyrighted. And you can also use the symbol even if you haven't done any of the other steps. You're still allowed to use that copyright symbol if it's an original work of yours. So yeah, it's a little bit dry, some of this stuff, but it is important. You should copyright your music. Use at least one of the ways. I'll leave you some links, and make sure you take care of that end of your stuff. You don't want to run into a headache down the road. Well, that's about it for part 7 of Making It in the Music Scene. I'm Greg Wood, and I'll see you next time.